Okay, AP World History students, I am here today to talk about comparison and contrast essays. And I wanted to give you a specific example of what I'm looking for as far as like a comparison and contrast paragraph. So the essay that you guys have coming up has to do with how minorities were managed within post-classical empires. And today I want to show you an example of a contrast paragraph dealing with post-classical empires within the Middle East. And what I'm looking for. So this particular one deals with the Ottoman Empire and the Safavid Empire. So let's start off at the very beginning here in the first sentence. While the Ottoman Empire managed their conquering territories by allowing for local sovereign control, the Safavid Empire created national unity through an enforced faith. So why is this a good thing? Okay, first off, let's start off here. We have the Ottoman Empire and we have the Safavid Empire. So remember, this covers our first rule. The first rule is we want to make sure we mention both elements. Okay, that's done here. We have Safavids and we have the Ottomans. The next thing that's done here, it's done well, is that we're actually given a specific reason why different. So in the case of the Ottoman Empire, our specific is right here. They allowed for local sovereign control. So here's our reason, and it's specific, and it's about sovereign control. In the case of the Safavid Empire, they created national unity, and they did that through an enforced faith. So again, we have a specific reason. So there's our number two. Okay, you've got to have a specific reason to why they are different. Okay, but then we have a third thing that makes this really good, and the third thing is that there's a common category for difference. So we got to make sure whether it's difference or similarity, that the category behind is the same, that we're doing the contrast around the same category. So in this particular case, what is the category? The category here is political control. And that's what makes this good, is that we're being given a common category for doing that difference between the two. Okay, so we've got a very specific comparison or contrast. Some things I really want to note that are so important, guys. You've got to make sure you have a specific topic sentence. The topic sentence has to organize for us and tell us what this paragraph is going to be about. It cannot be comparison and contrast. It's comparison or contrast. In this case, it's a contrast statement, and it has all of our major elements, okay? So we have the rule of both elements, a specific reason, and a common category to do this statement of difference. Now, the next thing we want to look for are specific pieces of evidence, and we have a whole bunch of them here. So the Ottomans conquered a variety of Christian, Jewish, Muslim minorities. Here's evidence right there. Okay, so we've got evidence about who's being conquered, okay, as far as this goes, okay? In order to keep these minority groups from creating resistance, the Ottoman Empire respected local leaders and religious groups. They formed millets. Here's another piece of evidence that we got right there, that practiced their own culture and religion while providing respect for the Ottoman leadership in the capital of Istanbul. The Ottomans recruited young boys and girls from these millets for the military janissaries and harem. There's evidence again that's telling us how they ended up managing these different groups. But this system only provided more stability since the recruits were given positions of power within the Islamic kingdom, showing further respect. Now, this actually is not evidence. This is analysis. And that's the great thing about this. How do I know it's analysis? Because the analysis connects back to the issue of local sovereign control. So about this, what I went about is that, I have topic, sentence, evidence, and then analysis. Analysis is interwoven into the evidence itself. Okay, so that's really good. Now we've done Ottomans. We make sure we have the Safavids. The Safavid Empire, Shah Abbas, the leader, chose instead to enforce the Shiite faith. There's evidence. Evidence of that religious unification. They overrode any internal religious groups like the Sufi Islamic sect. There's evidence. Okay, Abbas may have chosen this path due to the fear of outside invasion from the much larger Ottoman Empire. That's not evidence, that's analysis. Notice what this paragraph is doing. It's giving us multiple levels of evidence, description of evidence, and analysis. But then the entire paragraph ends with analysis for everything. The Ottomans and Safavids chose different forms of managing minorities due to. Now this is really important. Here's our transition word that forces us into a reason. So we can do due to, we can have because, we can have something that tells me, the grader, that this is about to enter into a reason. Their abilities to deal with both internal and external threats. There's why they manage things the way they do. Here's my reason or my analysis for the topic sentence. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for when you do a comparison contrast body paragraph. You're starting off with a topic sentence with a direct contrast or comparison, in this case contrast, multiple levels of evidence. You can have analysis woven in, and the analysis tells me why the topic sentence took place. So I hope this helps out and gives you a clear example of what I'm looking for when you're doing a contrast paragraph. Thanks, see you in class.